Eastern side immediately. Team Liquid keeping it consistent over there at Military Base, and Deathwolves given the plane path.
this is a perfect game for Death Wolves, and now it's just time to soak up some more points on the board.
It's true, and we got a good look at the map and kind of where it shifted. Yes, it goes back west, but Milovan is not in that play zone. We'll have to rotate north, and you've got Royals of War just ahead of you, Alpha 7 to your right, so it's not going to be the easiest journey. You're going to have to play very small, make that presence as stealth as you can, and AGG, nothing stealth about them, looking down the sights at Team Liquid. Just taking some shots, but for now, we're going to have to see how they approach this. They have the player advantage against Team Liquid.
Yes, they do. Team Liquid need to put up some more points on the board. I mean, they already have a massive gap. That Alpha 7 is going to be so difficult for them to pass up on, but you never want to count them out. And I think Team Liquid realizes that. So their whole goal is to just make a spread so big that Alpha 7 cannot catch them. But look how Alpha 7 started. 7 eliminations already. And they could have got that last one on a limb, but they did not want to risk popping out of the vehicle. So they know what's at stake here.
That's crazy. I mean, they did get a win yesterday on Erangel with 16 eliminations. Would love to see them double down and kind of beat that for them and maybe get at least 17. But at the end of the day, when you've got 28 players left in the lobby and 24 potential eliminations for Alpha 7, it can happen. It can happen, especially if you're maintaining your space on that south side of the zone with a couple teams nearby you.
Yeah, this is a tough circle because it's just literally all open field. You can see it. It's all about those holding down these little baby hills. Medelas is what they call them down here in down in South Texas. You got to be able to hold it down. And we're going to see right now is Team Castle is going to start throwing out some smokes, holding that position. It's just all snake play.
I love the snake play. I love what you did there. I'm going to double down and go away from that subject, but Milovan just won an isolated 1v1 against Artruzen from Furia. I understand that he gets picked off from the other member of Furia, but falls, but at least he grabs another elim before he goes down.
Elim with trying to free fire it, and he got McGrellin pretty low here, but that S12K, that's where it's at. So Titan Gaming do go out. 8 teams remaining. And now is where we're going to start seeing some teams get some placement points as Team Castle battling it out with Death Wolves. That's not the ride that you want to get here, especially at this stage.
No, not if you're Death Wolves and you want to break into 4th place. Now, mind you, Influence Rage and Inco Gaming are both out. This is Death Wolves' chance to grab those eliminations in this open field, and Team Queso is just like, no, this is mine. Silence, trying to literally silence Death Wolves. And now you can see the smokes and the tree using some vehicles for cover. And Ego was on fire, quite literally.
Oh, he was on fire, but he's back up. And Guizao has got 3 eliminations so far. They try to go for that run over, but they realize he's an isolated player. Yes, full send him, get him taken out. You need every point you can get, and you want to put Team Queso at bay just in case here. And Hyper are actually going to get this circle.
Ooh.
Alpha 7 are on the edge. They're going to probably end up pushing this very, very soon. It's anyone's game.
It's true.
Nice finish.
Oh, that's brilliant. Now they're going to really clean this area out. It's tough because with it being so open, it's going to be hard to really make those rotations unless you have vehicles. And with Death Wolves kind of up here on that northwestern side, they need to finish Team Queso, but they have Furia at the backs of Team Queso, so they're essentially being sandwiched, which puts a lot of pressure on them. And if Death Wolves decides to put too much focus on a Team Queso, I'm weary that All Glory Gaming will just be like, okay, this is our time to kind of full send.
Yeah, fight timing is so important right here. If you fight just a little too early, you're going to get third-partied. And All Glory Gaming are definitely in a position where they need to do that sooner than later because there's hardly any coverage here. You want to be able to secure an entire side of this map, but they're so far away. They have some vehicles, though. We'll see which side they decide to push to. They can push down to Team Liquid or right over here to Team Castle. Meanwhile, McGrellin and Alpha 7 are racking up the eliminations. 9 so far.
Wow, Royals of War out with 7 eliminations. That's pretty powerful considering you get to multiply that by 2 thanks to bonus points here. But still chilling the solo on our screen, just kind of overlooking the Death Wolves. But once we have to start seeing blue come in, Alpha 7 starting to rotate into that next play zone, keeping that pressure onto Team Liquid, which is tough.
That's the team that they need to pass up. So they realize that Team Liquid's on this side. I would not be shocked at all if we see Alpha 7 just really hard press this side of the map. You don't want Team Liquid to get any points at all. So I'm kind of shocked to see Alpha 7 Just kind of play this a little passive. I understand that they need a lot of points. Yeah, no. You see Carrillo, he's looking right in this direction.
He is trying to kind of spread out on that southeastern side, is taking space, and N-Hyper is in the dead center of the zone. There goes Chief, down and out. 3 eliminations, but you know, N-Hyper, after that game 6 that we got to witness at the top of the show, to bring you up to speed on that one, Hot Jukes, I want to see them take drop 1 win here on Erangel. I want to see it happen.
Let's go. I mean, no eliminations. They're playing it very passive, which kind of shocked, but at the same time, not so much, because it's kind of difficult to hold that position where FS is. If he jumps up or even looks out one of those windows, he's getting shot. But N-Hyper need to get active. Chief, very, very smart to deny the point. He needs to deny points from only one team, and that's Alpha 7. He knew that that's the squad that was looking right at him. So he just said, I'd rather go out to Blue Zone. But can N-Hyper pull off this win? If the zone centers up, it's definitely possible.
Anything can happen. It's kind of been our motto for the past couple of games that we've been witnessing, but everyone just playing very low sights. You're right, not wanting to peek out the windows, but still looking for information. And I love that we're going to see where that circle does pop here, because if it does center up on N-Hyper, you know that next threat is going to be, wow, it's going to be Furia having to rotate straight in, and that collapse between Alpha 7, N-Hyper, and Furia, because they're all going to want coverage from this building.
Yeah, they all want to push this building. The problem is that the first team that pushes it is going to go out, because if Alpha 7 push first, Beauty are going to third party, and vice versa, right? So it's all about the timing here. I think Alpha 7 are going to play this very, very slow, just edge on in. There's still 2 more zone shifts, so anything can happen.
Dun, dun, dun. We'll have to wait and see. It's only a matter of time, but at the end of the day, Alpha 7 is sitting on 10. I was wanting them to best that 16 elimination win yesterday, and the rogue shots coming in. We've got to be safe here, Team Queso. You're so far out from where you need to be for that next play zone, and that is a tough rotation here.
Oh, yeah. Team Queso just stuck in the zone. We're going to see a lot of people go out to blue here, and that's just the way it is at this point. He's going to run out into the open. Does anybody spot him? Nope. He does find a tree, but that is not the tree he needs to be at.
No, we got to keep on moving.
Further. Yep. Keep on moving.
Oh, but the Death Wolves swarming over there in the left with the vehicles and the boulder, and you've got Alpha 7 out towards the right, and Furia as well. AGG directly across the play zone from you. We'll just have to wait and see what they decide to do. But for Death Wolves, the duo on 6 eliminations. Now, mind you, if they win this and pick up more eliminations, they can leapfrog over Influence Rage, but Team Queso not going to make it out.
Yeah, not going to make it out. He was stuck wide in the open. Nothing he could do. And Hyper, though, they have the only coverage on this side of the map. They just got to focus on not getting pushed. And you can see them starting to apply that pressure. Rightfully so. Finally, we see Caprice get outside of the building. That's what N-Hyper's been needed to do. Step outside and start getting into it. But Alpha 7, an absolute war here with Furia.
Yeah, but Baton Stars, they're already shooting from their buildings. They're taking out members from multiple squads. And, okay, Furia, can we finish this out? But it's the last one standing here. Death Wolves eliminated at 6 eliminations. N-Hyper's really going to play spoiler from their buildings.
About time. N-Hyper step out, said we need some eliminations ourselves, and you're going to see Augustus go out here to the blue zone. It's all an N-Hyper chicken dinner. Right when Alpha 7 were taken out, N-Hyper said, all right, it's time to get busy.
Oh, no.
6 eliminations so far. That's how you do it.
This is the same thing we experienced yesterday, though. All members of N-Hyper are alive, and we're looking for Fran. But this time, Fran's in a building, probably going to deny that elimination from them, but it's not going to be enough. Caprice picks it on up, and well, N-Hyper, how does that one feel after yesterday? Congrats on that winner chicken dinner.
You want to know why? Because the candle's lit, baby. That is what I'm talking about. N-Hyper said, no, okay, we're not going to let that happen one more time. Smiles on their faces. Great for N-Hyper and great for NA, right? In a whole, to see them finally showing up here in this tournament, it makes me excited for the fall season, Taylor.
Heck yeah, man. They don't make the same mistake twice, which is great. Mind you, they left off with that mistake, so it's nice to see them actually, fixing that mistake at the very end. And
whatever you want. And I think we're going to see a lot of that. It's going to start.
We're going to see it. Yeah, we're going to see it. We're going to see teams just like push for fun. We're going to see single players look to kind of make a name for themselves and make some crazy plays. And that just destroys like every single strategy you have in the lobby. As you're going to hear and Hyper, shooting at none other than Alpha 7 to start things off. So Alpha 7 doing exactly what I was talking about. They're going to be stretching it all the way to El Pozo, and they're going to be a little bit late on this rotation. And that really crushes them on Miramar because it takes them so long to loot there, and then they lose a couple players on that rotation.
Yeah, it's going to be tough for sure. We'll have to keep our eyes out on it. But Alpha 7, kicking things off pretty strong in drop number 1. They find 10 eliminations despite only getting to 5th place. Now, it's good considering they outperformed Team Liquid in drop number 1. And at the end of the day, that's just kind of the motto for today. Just outperform Team Liquid because they came into that day with 115 points lead over Alpha 7. So trying to essentially tear back at that when both of those teams have used up their double points is going to be tough. Not out of the question, but still substantially challenging unless Team Liquid just completely throws everything away.
Oh, I mean, yeah.
I don't see that happening.
It shouldn't happen, but here's the problem, right? I was talking about, like, Death Wolves need crazy points tomorrow. Alpha 7 need crazy points tomorrow. And I can already see Alpha 7 turning up the heat here. I mean, they already did in match number 1. So I'm expecting them to fully let out every strategy under their belt to ensure, them getting first place and becoming the champions here of the EMSL Americas. So we'll see. We'll see what happens. So the teams, like especially Influence Rage, Deathwolf, Inco, you gotta perform today, at least in my opinion.
Yeah, 100%. Those are the 3 teams that I'm most definitely keeping my eyes on. And honestly, we've got some interesting moments here. Titan Gaming going to lose out on Doran. Now, granted, this is also their double points day. It came in 13th place, and honestly, if you have a strong performance here, maybe you bounce over where NRG is. We'll just have to wait and see what you can make do. But now a trio left in the lobby, and here's SLR on the move. They're going to be on the outer skirts, just on the inside of that play zone. A lot of those teams from the northwestern side of Miramar are going to rotate straight into this area. So I like that we're kind of taking some of these angles, but I don't feel comfortable in any way, shape, or form, and I don't really know what's going on here with White Elegy.
Oh, yeah, let's see. What are you doing, White Elegy? On the run, just trying to make something happen. That's what it looks like here. So, I mean, SLR, bottom of the leaderboards. This is what I'm talking about. Like, we're going to see some kind of inconsequential fights that are going to make things just that much more difficult. This is over here near San Martin, All Glory Gaming, looking to have fun at this point. And that's the hard part about this, is that, we already had 2 groups go past their double points days. So those teams that have already passed and know that, hey, there's no chance of us making it up, we can just do whatever we want.
That is just the unpredictability of lobbies that you really can't count on, and I think that's why it's tough. I think you have to come into tomorrow in 3rd place. You really do. You're not going to be safe 100% considering just how variable all of our performances have been from that 3rd to I'll even say it, 6th place, Furia. They're 20 points back from 4th place. So that was at the start of the day and kind of roaming around that. So even they could make a play for it. So not out of it just yet.
Not out of it just yet. Oh boy, let's see what happens here as Team Liquid are on the move. And they are moving quickly. 897 points. First team to break 900. It has to happen today, right, Tiff?
Oh, easy. It just happens this game. Actually, I don't want to say that because things could go very sour quickly. At the point in time, Team Liquid is dead center of that play zone. A lot of teams still going to be trying to vie and get in there. But honestly, I'd be really curious to hear from teams like Hyper, especially after that map win. I think we got an interview with Baton, which is good because we need to hear an update considering how they did in Game 6 yesterday, and then they jump in to win, drop 1 on Erangale.
Absolutely. Let's hear it.
Here with us. Congratulations, bro. Great match. 17 points, I believe it was. So very nice. A nice contrast from last night. Last night, you were obviously bummed out after that match, but we're starting good today, huh?
Yeah, we started with our win, so I feel good.
It was a tough match right there. You had a Alpha 7 at the end, but you were able to flank them. Tell me a bit about that last part of the match.
Last part of the match, we saw our south side started the fight. We just dropped the smoke and go and kill all of them, and then just killed last guy.
I like you better like this when you're happy, not when you're sad like last night, alright, bro? Let's keep it going. Let's keep it going. Let's go right night.
Happy Baton is definitely our favorite one. So, oh man, what a crazy, I think, turn of events overall here. You know, what are you going to say? What are you going to say? I mean, hey, chicken dinner, you know he's going to be stoked.
I like you better like this. Perfect. Perfect. You know what? Just do it again. But at the end of the day, he just comes in. He's like, we saw that our south side was fighting. We popped a smoke. We killed everyone. Perfect. Easier said than done, right? Like, I mean, that just breaks it all down in the most simplistic way, but sometimes you just have to not overthink things.
Absolutely. You can't ever overthink things. I mean, and I think that is the thing that has been just cursing in Hyper in general, is overthinking. You know, playing things too safe, too separate, crazy splits. And I've been saying this since so early on. If they just went back to the basics, they would be so much more effective. And I think we're finally starting to see them do that. Unfortunately, it's a little bit too late, you know, for them to make it to Riyadh, but it makes me excited for the fall.
Ooh, I mean, look, I also love the fall. It's a perfect time of the year. It's not too hot over here in Georgia, bro. It is like almost 100 degrees right now, so I'll take the fall.
All day long. And they're going to see right now if, you know, NRG is going to have a similar end here. I mean, they did yesterday. So I want to see, you know, the rest of the NA team start playing the way they're supposed to towards the end of this tournament. And that's going to make things even more difficult, right, for those teams that desperately need points. And so far, nothing on the side of Influence Rage, Death Wolves, so definitely the calm before the storm.
Yeah, the only team right now with any sort of eliminations is going to be NHyper with one, and I love that NRG is actually going to be rotating in from the north side, right? This is a secondary drop for them. Typically, they'll go towards that island on the most southern point of Miramar, but granted, because of the plane path, they've elected to drop up to the north and now will be rotating in, which works perfect for this play zone because you're going to waltz right in to some pretty open space with 9Z going to be the only team below you. And then when you look towards the west, which is typically the most chaotic side on the rotations in general that I've witnessed from Miramar, you see, it's already happening. Death Wolves on the opposing side, Radaway. We cannot let this occur.
No, we cannot. Yeah, especially against a team like Entity 7. That would be brutal. You know, a team that has a chance to make it to Riyadh, getting eliminated by a last place team here. Oof. That's going to hurt. 9Z is in that same boat. 9Z, you can just see these teams at the bottom are finally looking to make some noise. Because we have not seen this type of aggression from them all tournament long.
Yeah, we were talking about it before the show today. We were like, we want some aggression. We want the chaos. Let it just get mixy. And if this is how it's going to be, then so be it. 9Z, throw down, ruin. I want to say like ruin people's days, but I mean, I'm down to see it.
Me too. And let's just see how many days are going to get ruined here. Because Influence Rage, that's the team they need to take out. So, unfortunately, not able to get any shots on them at all. But Death Wolves, right, safe. Going to move on into this next door. They're going to find a really good spot here, my junkyard, because this entire area is completely open.
It's a pretty solid rotation in. Their biggest threat's going to be Furia looking for a massive rat before they decide to rotate in. So that is probably the most potential threat to occur for now, but trying to lay siege to this area will be quite tough. So good on them to grab that position. We'll just have to see when our later stages where the play zone starts to pull. And if this stays in play, it'll be a really solid gift from the Pubg Mobile gods for them.
Oh, it will be indeed. And let's just see who else going to get that gift here soon. Alpha 7 are all the way on the south side of La Bendita. They're ready, good to go. I'm looking at where Team Liquid is. Team Liquid is right in between Influence Range. So that's going to make things very, very interesting here soon. Looking at the rest of the zone, and Hyper pushing in from the blue. Oh, but look at this. This is Inco Gaming. This is the team that needs to hold on to. And let me ask you this, right? In the past, you know, since you were here yesterday and you're here now, what do you think about Inco, right? Do you think Inco has a chance to put points on the board and me safe here in third? Like, do you see them playing aggressive or passive?
Look, they've had a really solid performance in general for this week, right? Coming into week 3, 201 points. It's their top performance that we witnessed throughout all of our weeks. Other than that, they've been sitting around that top 5, 6 threshold. That double points day that we witnessed from them was absolutely crazy, as we just witnessed SLR fall there. Salute in chat for them, because Hyper's just on another level at some point in time here. Thanks God for the week 3. But now I'm yapping. Going back to my original point, great week for them. Yes, I think they have what it takes, because we haven't seen this, and it just took them a few weeks to really step up. But Influence Rage, it's Be Bold again.
No way, not again. So Be Bold, hunting them down against the 1v2. This is the worst case scenario. And now they know who it is. They realize it's Be Bold. So I think Be Bold are going to just do extra work to finish this team off. Is it going to be Lawrence sitting to get the 1v4, though?
You cannot let this occur. Like, you cannot let this happen. Change the story, but Milovan goes for the chow, and finally Diego enacts some revenge here. We gotta find Fran, though. And we do it. Come on, Diego, make it work, because look who's in the neighboring compound. It's Team Liquid, who's going to straight on send over here. They're both gonna pay for this.
Influence Rage is the team that pays for this, and that is brutal. And I'll tell you what, Team Liquid and Influence Rage have a storied history. You know, these squads have a lot of beef between each other, and it's some Brazilian on Brazilian action. Team Liquid knew who this was, and they wanted to just stick it to Influence Rage there. That's gonna hurt.
You know, once again, Death Wolves out here just like, thank you. I appreciate you. You are doing great. They're just like, at the end of these games, they have got to walk over to Be Bold and just thank them when they wrap it up and hit 4th place today.
You might as well, because this is getting intense here, especially since this has happened twice in a row.
Yeah, it's
twice in a row, and I'm sure we're going to see it happen in the second game. So what I said earlier, right, when it comes to Influence Rage adjusting their strategies, they're going to have to. They're going to have to if they want to have any chance of going to Riyadh.
Yeah, and to be so close but miss out, because as of right now, you've got Influence Rage that's locked into that ESWC survival stage slot, and that even already makes your journey that much more difficult. They had a chance to play for 3rd in NRG Galaxy. Yes, they showed up yesterday on drop number 1 for Erangel, and we're waiting for them to have some brilliant moments here today, and just starting to kind of get things moving, picking up 1 elimination on their way in, but it's tough, right? Once this zone starts to center up and everyone kind of making their way in, NRG trying to come in from the northern side, Fury will be that next threat to them.
Hey, but they make it. They find a very clear path into this next zone, and they're going to push up further and further and further in. Let's see where the next zone pops, though. Are we going to get a center up? Maybe another hard shift? Let's see. Next few seconds on the clock. Alpha 7 down south. And yeah, big center zone here. What I'm looking at is Death Wolves. Death Wolves have a big couple of fights ahead of them here. And with Influence Rage out, this is their time to shine.
Do we hang out and really try to isolate against Furia before rotating in? Because I think that might be smart. Granted, it's going to be open. We do have some vehicles to work with. But I would rather start picking up eliminations. But where they lie at this point, being 8 points away from Influence Rage, it's going to be interesting. But do you play conservative? Do you worry about your position and let those eliminations come to you?
At this point, it's going to be tough. It's going to be tough. I think if you're Death Wolves, you cannot alter your strategy. I think you have to get active at this point because you need big points. You cannot depend on tomorrow. Even though tomorrow is your double points day, there are so many teams that need those points. So if you're Death Wolves, get hungry, get active right here, right now.
You heard it. Jukes wants you to get active, and right now, if you're looking at 9Z, it wouldn't be a bad team to get active against. You can see Ego out here just scouting, looking for information, maybe to see what that threat is going to look like. But Furia is not going to be in that next play zone. They still have to look for space. And a lot of people are just keeping their eyes on 9Z because they are inside that play zone. And if 2 teams decide to rotate straight into them, but the way they've separated themselves out, it's going to be a tough push.
It's going to be a tough push indeed, and I'm looking over here at Alpha 7. They have this spot pretty locked down, but you know what? They got Rolls of War on their back, and Rolls of War, at the end of the day, are just trying to make something happen. Here comes Fate, though. NRG Galaxy against All Glory Gaming, and it looks like they're definitely going to get the better of them here.
Look, we already heard about the changes yesterday from Fate himself. Wants to roam free. And just kind of piecing apart AGG here, quite nice, already on 3 eliminations. But Hyper, who has been one of the most unpredictable squads of week number 3, decides to get straight into the mix here. Baton in the smoke, taking it straight to J7.
NA Violence, J7 finally catching up to the smoke. Gets that headshot against Baton. So these are two teams that have played against each other so long now. The rest of Hyper looking to be a little bit farther away from this, but NRG doing solid. 4 eliminations so far on the push, but they have 55 seconds on the clock. They need to get this side cleared out sooner than later.
Yeah, this is tough, right? It's that northwestern side of the play zone, and whoever can leave here unscathed. Stars had already left to scout out a play area for them after this rotation, but when you lose out on one, it's going to be tough. Here we go, straight to AGG. Fate from the off angle, holding the cross, doesn't want to let Guapo get over there, and Padrino down and out, and just like that, All Glory Gaming eliminated. Royals of War has fallen elsewhere also.
That's a big loss right there. Rolls of War getting taken out here is gonna hurt. Influence Rage gone. That is brutal. What is going to happen here with Deathwolves? Deathwolves 1 elimination, and with this game here, the door's open for them to get past. They can pass up Influence Rage.
It is very likely, considering where they have fallen here. Wherever that next zone, oh my god, they can just waltz right into it. And honestly, one member of Deathwolves has already secured an elimination against 9Z. They were not able to grab that res, so they're still a trio, and that is the biggest threat to Deathwolves, but they're going to have the player advantage.
They're going to have that advantage. Indeed, NRG on the rotation, barely able to make it in, but they're going to make it safely here. No sacrifices needed to be had. They are getting shot from the back. Never mind. FS catches Malaz, and that is brutal. But he does get the better end on to Stars. But J7 gets shut down by Kree. So yeah, NRG gonna get taken out here little by little. Tough rotation. I'd rather see them just push up little by little than trying to make these crazy bold rotates.
It's tough because Stars had already rotated in ahead of everyone and left Hyper very separated and was just able to pick apart NRG Galaxy. Now, granted, we do have Spec still alive, 6 eliminations for the squad, and it's just tough. You're just going to play your life, see what you can do, no, you're not going to play your life because there's a rogue Rata boy from a distance just doing what he needs to do to get into 4th place.
That is tough. But you know who's still alive? Alpha 7 on the south side, and they're looking really, really good. Team Liquid are going to have to make a push, though, against Team Kessel, most likely very, very soon. But I think they're happy to just share this spot. But meanwhile, it's just absolute chaos on this side of the map. This corner is stacked with squads.
Yeah, I don't really want to be on that side of zone. And
nope.
To see who's looking to maybe kind of push over there, you can see Deathwolves, right? They've separated out completely on that northern side instead of descending upon the remnants of 9Z. We're like, no, we want to get involved. We want to get active, like you said, Hot Jukes.
Now, let's see what happens as FS and Stars looking to put some pressure. 9Z catching off Obscure. This is going to make things pretty difficult. Yeah, especially if Hyper are going to push this. That's that rear sight line completely taken away. So their eye in the sky is gone.
We kind of thought about that, right? It's like maybe you should have just taken the isolated engagement against 9Z as opposed to maybe looking for a third party, because that's exactly what 9Z wants you to do, and they're going to gatekeep. This is very open on this side, like you were mentioning. Not sure if Rataboy was able to get, yes, he does get the res off, and we're going to start that healing process, but you don't want to let that happen. You want to maintain your resources for the end game and just lie and wait. Still 2 eliminations, though. Granted,
not bad.
Not double points until tomorrow, though.
They need to group up, though. I think Deathwolves need to play it old school here. Just get together and just soak up some eliminations. Now is the time. And it looks like they're going to go for it. Rata Boy on the rotate. He should make it free and clear. Oh, couple couple shots down his way. Not a big worry, though. He's actually going to take the initiative and push on to FS. FS is down to 1 HP. Jump out. Got him. Beautifully done there from Death Wolves.
That's how you get active. Stars, though, able to knock Obscure. Trying to get wild here, but it doesn't matter. And Hyper does fall. 7 eliminations. A pretty stellar performance here in drop number 2, considering they won drop 1. But Death Wolves up to 4, losing out on Obscure. And will play it out as a trio. And I'm just looking kind of what is left for our teams. Down to the final 10. Team Liquid still up all 4, along with Team Queso, Entity 7, and Alpha 7.
Alpha 7 been, man, these guys are getting a lot more eliminations into the early game tip. 5 already. This is very similar to their last game here. So Team Liquid need to stay alive. They need to cross that 900 mark. This game indeed. There's still 10 teams remaining, and with a zone like this, we can take it all the way here. This is going to probably go to Circle 9.
I want to see it. I love that they're actually getting eliminations and being pretty consistent, because before this I was like, what is Alpha 7 doing this week? It's not bad by any means. It's just uncharacteristic. Okay. Yeah, get crazy. I'm going to say that's not the way you wanted to land, but it was cool to see.
It was cool to see indeed, and that's what we're seeing. Death Wolves! Very cool! But not cool enough, unfortunately, as they get deleted.
Would have been cooler if you survived that rotation, but
cooler
fair.
If you did. Yeah, that is for sure. Meanwhile, you got Fudia staying cool right there, and Titan Gaming very close to them. But at the end of the day, the big storyline, Inco, right? Inco are still up with 2 players, and they need to get some points here. And it looks like they're going to be ending up fighting Carrillo here very soon.
Oh, that's not who you want to fight very soon.
Nope.
Come on. Come on now. We don't want to run straight into them, but we'll have to see how that goes. Alpha 7 is going to be separated out on that southern side. Fight. And you're right. All right. Team Liquid Mythic is going to be the first one to fall down. And Ayala trying to hold angle around the vehicle. Got peppered from Revo. Trying to maintain that standout potential MVP.
This is huge. This is so huge. Alpha 7 looking to just shut down Team Liquid in match number 2. Trying to catch them so they can win this championship, and they do. Oh, but here come the grenades ringing out from Team Kessel. Those look really good. Mafioso gets knocked. Oh, brutal. Alpha 7 did their job, though, right? They were able to shut down Team Kessel. They put some more points on the board, but unfortunately, that chicken dinner now is looking pretty out of sight.
We're still up with 2 of them. Well, actually 1 now. 1 just got knocked, Revo. Yeah, that's tough. Team Queso just capitalizing on that full overextension from Alpha 7. And to be fair, I understand that you want to take out Team Liquid, but of course you are going to get punished from this, and it just makes sense for Team Queso to do so. And Alpha 7 will fall with 9 eliminations. Now, granted, 10 eliminations in the first drop, 9 to back it up. It's still pretty stellar.
Yeah, pretty stellar indeed. And we're going to see right now as Choco is going to get a nice shot onto Entity 7. The next zone, let's see if it goes to Inco. Inco definitely need it here because they need to put some more points on the board to extend their lead. And that's really it. These are the main team. That Inco's the main squad right now that we're looking at to hold down that 3rd place position. Everybody else pretty inconsequential, unless Team Kessel has, again, a monster day here.
Now, we say that, but then Furia could move up into that 4th place slot, right? Now, they're farther back, so it's not going to be as easy for them, and there's still a duo. Okay, now a solo as Adrian falls there. So if 9Z just really wants to get crazy and take out different players, that's fine, and even Titan Gaming is going to hit the full. So Inco here. 7 on your screen. 2 eliminations straight onto this, outnumbered by Team Queso. A 2v4, you're going to have to let the frags do some work here.
Yeah, Team Queso need to get busy here, because if they want to even stand a chance of being in this conversation for 4th or 3rd place, they need to go crazy. 3 eliminations, not enough. You need double-digit eliminations every single game today, and it's definitely going to help for you to take out Inco right here, right now. And it should be pretty easy. Silence, 1 well-placed nade should shut these guys down, and it does. But a nice return nade, but it doesn't matter, as Inco Gaming get eliminated with only 2 points on the board. So Team Kessel with 5, not a bad start, but it's still not enough. They got to be pushing everybody.
They really do. And I mean, looking, they're sitting at 531 points. The next gap for them would be Furia, and they have to be, it's like 66 points ahead of them. They're going to be able to get that reset onto silence there thanks to some smokes to cover that line of sight. And honestly, the angle here of this hill, and you can just drop on down. But for Furia, one player left standing, setting their sights straight on at Titan Gaming's Inactive, who meets it with the frag. And they'll fall with just one elimination.
One elimination. That's going to be rough there. So Titan Gaming, yeah, going to be pushing into zone, but at this point, it really is Team Gesso's time to shine. They need every single elimination left in the lobby. That's one of them.
Titan Gaming has fallen down to the final three. Team Queso, 9Z, and Be Bold, the duo. Team Queso could have a fire potential here. You were making sure every elimination left in lobby. That would be the total of 5 if they can get it.
They need it. They really do need it. I cannot stress enough. They are so far behind that just regular chicken dinners are not enough at this point. They need some big making up to do. You don't even want the blue zone to take any of these. So Team Gesso, I understand that they're trying to optimize position because they do need to win the game, but there needs to be a little blend of urgency, right? You're going to have to take some risks because that's what you have to do at this point. You have no choice.
It's true, and it's double points. So, like you said, if you can throw down a 20-point normal game, that turns into 40. That's how you start covering the distance and make a huge change. And it starts with fully sending the trio, if possible, or even the duo of Be Bold, who's in the dead center, and Connor. If they're going to start opening that fight against Be Bold, Team Queso, this is your chance.
Yes, you need to get active, Team Queso. You cannot just sit and wait for this game to come to you. You need every elimination in the lobby at this point. Otherwise, yeah, you're going to put up a good day, but it ain't going to be enough to go to Riyadh.
Do you want to go to Riyadh? Do you want to go compete for $3 million? This is how you get there.
Oh, and this is how but this is how you don't get there.
True.
When Connor and Simple go out to the blue zone, these points are critical, and they are losing them. And that's what I'm talking about. I said, yeah, Team Queso most likely going to win this game. But, I mean, if I'm going to try to say silver lining, yeah, it's good to see that progress, right? Like, it's good to see a start. But they have to let this be the only time they win this game without any urgency.
I mean, they've had 6 winner chicken dinners so far. Would love to bring it to 7 here. But for now, they do move up, and they're already kind of separating out. You can see Patroke on the other side there towards that western, is looking for angles. He's cooking the grenades, looking for Chuko or some players from Be Bold. But, I mean, there's 3 players left in the lobby. You have 4. We could just deathball each squad, but you got Fran with the DBS, and if you're gonna, start to take the angles, oh no, here we go.
Here we go. Let's see. Let's see what's going to happen. Yeah, the nades are starting to ring out. This is stage 9, though. This zone's going to go down to nothing. Team Queso are playing a little bit too separate for my liking. I think at this point, you got to just push together. Push together as a unit and just take out each player one at a time here. The chicken dinner should be automatic at this point. Let's see how they decide to play this.
Cannot throw anything. I think the grouping up is going to be quite nice. We typically, when we see teams play like this, it's very akin to what Team Liquid does. They'll separate and send a duo onto each team, right? Now, granted, this is a different story. You have this building, you have the space, you know where some of these players are. You're already sending those nades over towards Fran. You can't let Brunson there get an angle from the high ground. And Chuko, it might go down to blue zone here. Falls incredibly low, and you don't want to see them throw it. And it's Fran. Fran picks it up, and that's another elimination that's going to be denied to you. And so now a 4v2. Come on, take it, Team Queso.
Let's see if they can. And they're going to lose another elimination. So Team Queso going to get the chicken dinner here with only one of those. And you can just see, look at their faces, right? They're happy, right? They're happy they won the game. They knew they were going to win it. But at the same time, they know there is a lot of work ahead of them.
That's tough, right? Because you see one of the players go down to the blue zone from Be Bold, so you're getting denied elimination. So yes, you get the winner chicken dinner. You get it with 8 eliminations, but it could have been more.
Could have been more. Taylor, what do you think about that one?
It kind of conflicted. Team Queso, I think they do quite well. 8 eliminations, winner, chicken dinner. That kind of consistency, let's say the next 4 maps, which would be very difficult to do, mind you, right? We haven't seen a team very rarely win back-to-back, let alone win 3-4 in a row, right? That just simply hasn't happened. But I do think that's a great start for Team Queso. We're only on game number 2. Game number 1, you chalk it up, you just let it go, short-term memory loss, right? And then you kind of come in fresh, which I think Team Queso did. Now, where my concern does turn to, though, Hot Jukes, is directly to this Be Bold Influence Rage saga that's developing. It started yesterday. Influence Rage was getting the best of Be Bold, but today, on the most important day for Influence Rage, that could literally make or break them, it's all Be Bold.
Well, this is what happens, right? This is what happens. Yeah, Influence Rage was getting the better of Be Bold on their double points day, right? So maybe Be Bold said, hey, since you did that, it's time we get some revenge, and it's working. 2 games in a row, Influence Rage, and pretty much put up donuts. Yeah, they got a couple points here and there, but they know that's not enough, right, to make it to the Esports World Cup coming around the corner.
It's not enough. And if I'm Influence Rage, I am starting to get worried. But I do question Tiff, or, is Be Bold in their head, right? Because it's like, it's hard to dig yourself up out of that rut and also not to get paranoid.
Yeah, it does start to mentally affect you, and knowing that you're on land, you're nearby them as well, things are probably going to get really heated. And I love that Hotchix goes, it's not paranoid, it's rage, right? I'm living up to Influence Rage at this point, because to keep throwing down 0-point games on the most important day of the week, in the final week, look, it is just not the time to let that happen. So what do? How do you counteract that? How do you change the narrative from what's been occurring? I mean, you just stick it to Be Bold, because especially going down to Be Bold and then watching them go to second place here on Miramar, I've got to feel some type of way.
You have to, and it hurts. That's going to be, I think, a narrative that's going to continue throughout the entire. I mean, we're going back to Ariga where they first challenged them, right? Team Queso, though, 36 points. Hot Jukes, again, like, you could be critical. Should they have been more aggressive to clean up the rest of the eliminations in the final 3? I think so, right? But also, 36 points, you've got to be happy with that when everybody else is only getting 10 or 11. And also, it's not just everybody else, is it, right? The biggest ones you've got to watch out for is Inco Gaming and Death Wolves. Inco only gets 4. So for Team Queso to get 36, that's a big leap ahead of Inco and potentially Death Wolves, right? At least consistency-wise.
Yeah, I mean, big game for them, no doubt, right? You got to give them their flowers for sure. At the end of the day, though, we need to be realistic, right? They want 3rd place. They don't want 4th. They want 3rd. They want that guaranteed spot to the group stage. So I've been in this game a long time. I have seen too many tournaments where teams get cut down by just 1 point. They don't make their dreams come true by just 1 point. So when I see Team Queso, yeah, that was an automatic win. When they could have got more, that's when I start getting critical here. Because, yeah, look, they make that jump, but that's still a big gap they need to cross.
That is a big. Well, so what is it? 557 now to 618. That's at least the absolute bare minimum to catch up to Influence Rage. And then obviously Inco Gaming up to 674. A tremendous jump. I mean, so we're talking about 120, right? So it's like now you do start to get worried when you put it into perspective, right? And you do look at the standings. So I do understand your criticisms, Hot Jukes. Rose of War, though, again, double points as well for them. It's looking a bit out of reach, Tiff. Like, I don't know if they're going to be able to have or make that happen. Furia continues to drop. They've got to feel deflated. But for Death Wolves, honestly, keeping it pretty consistent. I mean, again, for Death Wolves, I think this is a pretty big day. Even though they're not getting the most elims replacing points, I think Death Wolves is still going to be all right going into their double points tomorrow.
Yes and no, because they're having a perfect case scenario happen for them. Inco Gaming has a 4-point game. Influence Rage, a 2-point game. Death Wolves have a 4-point game. This was the chance, right? They are having these situations that are being given to them because Be Bold is essentially having this war with Influence Rage, which is opening the door for you to make a massive play for 3rd place, especially with Inco Gaming having that. So now at the end of the day, we're looking at Team Queso, who just comes off the back of a 36-point game that is the farthest away from 4th and 3rd place, that has the biggest potential because they're actually actually putting points on the board.
That's a fact, right? Another big game from them. They catch up to Fury and to Death Wolves. You don't know how, that can snowball, especially on your double point state. Titan Gaming, though, not too bad, right? 4th place, 5 eliminations. It doesn't move the needle, but gets them a little bit closer to NRG Galaxy in terms of the race for North America. Still want to see N-Hyper, though, continue to move up. Are you happy, Onjukes, with N-Hyper's at least early game, right? I mean, 7 eliminations. They finished in 11th place, but they're still showing that prowess of, want to get in your face and improve and be aggressive.
Let's go, baby. I mean, I love to see them not giving it up. I love to see the teams at the bottom, just putting in work, being more aggressive in general. Because, unfortunately, it is, too late for them to, qualify. But this is that time that you just say, hey, I'm here for a reason. Come fall, I'm going to come bring it. And Hyper and NA in general, right? We're seeing them do it.
By the way, update, Titan Gaming, unofficially, Redox should have just hit his 100th elimination for the America Spring season. He was sitting at 99. I don't think he got any, no, he didn't get any elims in game 1. He gets 1 in game number 2. So shout out to Redox, right? Hitting that big 100, knocking Deathwolves Guizhou all the way down, at least 1 peg, right down to I believe 6th place. So he joins in the top 5 for Redox. Well done from Titan Gaming. But, chat, that's 2 games down, Erangel and Miramar. We hop back into Erangel for map number 3, the halfway point. And a lot of work still needing to be done for the race up to top 4. I don't know at this point if Influence Rage has it today. Be Bold seems to have their number, and they are in their head. Let us know, chat, what are you thinking about in terms of the top 4 and who needs to step it up? We're going to take a quick break. When we come back, map 3, Erangel coming your way.
Hello everyone, the all-new 2024 Pubg Mobile Super League event PMSL Pass will be available from May 31st to June 30th. The PMSL Pass has 20 levels and only takes 500